Hi everyone, welcome to SFR. It's kind of crazy the times that we're living in right now, but here we are. So I hope that you are enjoying all of the presentations that you've watched so far. My name is Morgan Allberry and I am a superstar director with Sensi. I joined in August of 2016 and we promoted to superstar director last October. So it's been a crazy ride, but it's so exciting and I'm so glad that you're all here and I hope that you enjoy the presentation. I am here to talk to you about attraction marketing. So it's one of my favorite topics. It's something that I really enjoy talking about, something that I take a lot of time on in my own business, something that I really put a lot of thought and effort into. So hopefully you'll get something out of this that you didn't know before, or just a different set of eyes, a different aspect to attraction marketing than what you have already known. I'm sure everyone else who is also presenting on this topic has provided a ton of good content. I know those other presenters out there are absolutely wonderful. So I hope that you love all the information that you're getting from all of us. But what is attraction marketing? What in your mind do you think attraction marketing means? It's essentially why we need to find the right products for the right customer and why it's important to get to know your customers and how to expand your customer base based on what your customer needs and what your customer wants. With attraction marketing, you will have much better results if you present products to people who want or who need what you're selling instead of just presenting and throwing everything at that person. And the same goes for getting people to join your team as well. You need to know what part of the business is attractive to them and what will bring them in and what will get them to want to sell and why they should sell. Different things like limited time offers as well that can be thrown in there. You'll be more successful when you know what these people want, what they need, what they're looking for. And then it also helps you with follow-up conversations with those people on how to effectively communicate with them on their specific needs. So in order to properly implement attraction marketing into your business, you want to make sure that the products are making sense to the customer and not just to you. Why something makes sense to you is not necessarily the reason why it's going to make sense to customer A, customer B, or customer C. So you really need to dig in and figure out why that product would make sense for that person and make it about them and their needs and what they are looking for. You always want to be refreshing your knowledge on products. You want to be refreshing your garden, so to speak, of growing your customer base, expanding that customer base, and things like the limited time offers, like I mentioned, those are products that you can use to gain customers that wouldn't typically be a customer, but they have such a love for that item or for that character in a movie or for that specific item that they will become a customer just because they want that specific product. So again, just really learning what your customers want and what they need is going to be super important in attraction marketing. So some different ways that I implement this myself is definitely making sure to brand yourself. It is so important in this business to make sure that you are branding yourself and you're not branding Sensi. People come to you to buy from you for a reason. They don't just want to buy from anyone. They're coming to you for a specific reason. So make sure that you know why that reason is and make sure that you are selling yourself essentially in this business. You also need to define and understand your audience and create content specifically for your audience. So I might not appeal to, let's say, moms because I'm not a mom, but I do have dogs. So I might appeal to people who have dogs instead of kids, something like that. So you just really want to make sure that you are appealing specifically to that audience that you define. You need to figure out what that audience is and how you can connect to them. So I connect to people who do have dogs. I connect to people who are in their late 20s, early 30s, who might just be looking for a little bit of extra income on the side. I can relate to people who live by themselves. I can relate to people who, want their animals to smell good. I can relate to people who work out, like different things like this. You need to figure out what that target audience is and why you are targeting them and how you can help them, not how it helps you. Again, I cannot stress that enough. But you want to build relationships with your audience as well. So again, defining and understanding them is one part and creating content for your audience is another part, but you also need to build those relationships because this entire business is about building relationships. So really make sure that you get in there, you ask your customers questions, you get to know them, and you figure out what they need in their life. They might not have a need for our pet line. They might not have a need for our cleaning line. They might not have a need for wax and warmers. Maybe they just want oil and diffusers, but you need to learn what that is and make sure that you are creating content for that specific person. And just keep in mind who you're trying to sell to when you are creating your content. So that might be you creating a video of you using a warmer. Well, are you creating that content for people who have never used Scentsy, or are you creating content for your customers who have used Scentsy for years? If you're creating it for people who have used Scentsy for years, they might not be able to relate to that because they're thinking, oh, I already know how to use a wax and warmer, so this isn't really relevant to me, this doesn't make sense to me, and they'll just tune it out and they'll move on. And then they might not look at the next thing that you post because you're not relating to them and what their specific needs are. So once you've defined that audience that you're speaking to and you've gotten really crystal clear on who you are talking to, whether that be the mom down the street who stays at home, or whether that be the girl who's working 70 hours, or the guy who just wants some fun and some friends in his life, whoever you've defined your audience to be, once you know them, it's time for you to get some research together. You need to start brainstorming. You need to discover and write down what those people's biggest problems, pains, desires, questions, all of those things. You need to figure that out and really write that down and take time to jot that down. And then creating that content that addresses your audience's challenges. So making sure that you're creating videos, Facebook posts, maybe if you run a blog, you're creating blog posts, etc., for your audience that addresses those problems, those issues, those pains, those dreams, those concerns, anything that they might have. You want to make sure that you're going through that list that you created of what their pain points are or what their challenges are, and that you're creating content specifically for that. On the trust piece of business and building those relationships, like I talked about, people do business with people that they like and that they trust. So you want to treat your prospects like human beings because you do actually want to help them. You're not just looking at them for a sale. You're not just looking at them for a new recruit. You're looking at them as the human that they are and what their needs are, what their challenges are. You want to follow up. You want to build a relationship. You want to continue to serve them daily. You really have to learn who that person is, what they're looking for, and not just look at them as another sale, because that's not what they are. And you're not going to be able to attract them into your business if you are just looking at them as a number. With creating valuable content with attraction marketing, you really want to know, again, and address the problems that your audience has and the challenges. You want to create value for them. They need to see the value in your product. So 68% of consumers feel more positive about a brand or a product after consuming content from it. So your content can be, again, Facebook posts, blog posts, YouTube videos, Instagram posts, emails, might be snail mail, whatever that is that you use to contact your customers and get your name out there. Whatever you're doing with that, you need to make sure that it educates and that it entertains your audience simultaneously, and that it provides solutions to the problems that they have, and that you're not just throwing information out there just to throw information out there and just to get it out there. As entrepreneurs and as network marketers and being in direct sales, we need to be professional problem solvers. So you need to think of yourself as a professional problem solver, and you always need to be figuring out what problem you are solving for someone. And so you have to give your audience the content that they want, not the content that you want or the content you want to create, but the content that they want to see. So 99% of network marketers, and not just with Scentsy, with any direct selling company, any network marketing company, people just spam their links and that's it. They don't provide any value to anyone. They don't, and then they wonder why people aren't buying. Something that I don't remember where I learned this, but BES. So BES, it stands for build, engage, and sell. So you want to focus on those three activities within your business: build your audience, engage your audience, and sell to your audience. Those are the three things you want to focus on all the time in your business: is build, engage, and sell. So if you focus on those, let's say on Facebook, for example, is the social media that you want to use. So you want to spend some time each day engaging with your audience and creating valuable content that speaks to their challenges. And then you will see that selling will come from that with just almost effortless. If you're building and engaging. So make sure that you're doing those things with your customers in the appropriate way that you think that they want to be sold to, essentially, attraction marketing. So BES is going to be that foundation: build, engage, and sell. So if you do those 3 things every single day, it's going to become almost natural, and you're not even going to realize that you are selling, because you're always building with your audience and you're always engaging with your audience. And especially on Facebook, it's easy to just build those relationships by, you know, wishing someone a happy birthday, or commenting on a picture of their kids, or, you know, mentioning to them how you saw they went on a family vacation, or, hey, I saw that you know, were doing this, or, you know, someone might be looking for a new job. Hint, hint, maybe you should mention selling Scentsy to them. But people join and buy from people, not from companies. So that's where that relationship building really comes in. You want to connect with them, have conversations with them. It's not always just going to happen overnight. You have to really make sure that you're getting in there and you're getting to know these people, because that's what's going to make them trust you and want to buy from you. So I heard a really great analogy that I wanted to share with you, because so many times people will just share products without knowing their audience and knowing what to attract them in and bring them in. So think about this, okay? If you had a restaurant and you filled it with complete strangers and all you had on the menu was steak, what would happen when you tried to serve your steak to a vegan? You're not going to be able to sell that steak, because you're trying to sell your steak to a vegan. But you don't know that because you just filled your restaurant with strangers and you didn't get to know these people. So you only need to speak with people in your target audience, and it's your job to find out what their specific need and what their specific pain is. When you take time to build those relationships and connect with your prospects, you find out exactly what their problems are, exactly what their challenges are, and then you can give them an exact solution and create those marketing materials for their problem. Give them what they want, give them value, serve your audience, solve their problems, give them solutions, gain their trust. You'll build rapport with them, all of these things. But again, you can't sell a steak to a vegan. So, you know, you really got to make sure that you know who your customer is, who you're talking to, and how to attract them into your business to join or buy or host or whatever the case might be with that person. So after you have created your perfect content for your perfect person and you've figured out who they are, and now you're really working with the attraction marketing. Again, attraction marketing is selling without selling. It's just an easy way to bring people in. But now, how do you capture that sale? That might be an issue for some people. So obviously, I highly, highly recommend the Sell with Amy app. I think some people say Ami. I say Amy. But it's definitely a game changer for your business if you are not using it. Make sure that you try it. However, if you're not into the whole app thing, then definitely make sure that you're keeping some sort of a written list of people that might comment on that Facebook Live video that you did with the warmer. You know, make sure that you're using multiple posts to follow up and see. You might be able to see who's engaging with all of these posts. You might see that Susie over here has now liked or commented on 5 different videos or pictures that you've posted of a certain warmer. So that might be your chance to reach out to her and say, hey, like, I saw that you were interested in this warmer, etc., etc., whatever it might be. You can also use emails, you can use texts, but you have to make sure that you are posting multiple things with yourself and products, videos with yourself and products, and not just flyers. You don't just want to use generic posts. People are attracted to you. You need to sell yourself. You need to post yourself. You need to use your own face in your own business. You need to show yourself using the product instead of someone else that your customers can't relate to and that they don't know. If they don't know that person, then they might not trust that, like, hey, this could actually work for me, because they don't know them. They know you. So you want to make sure that you are using your own face, that you're talking to them one-on-one, that you're sharing your personality, all of those kinds of things. So again, it's something that I think is so important in this business, is really showing your personality and showing everything that you are. And that even goes with the different things about branding yourself and understanding your audience and making sure when you do follow-ups that you're showing your own personality. Because again, if you just use the generic messages every time that someone else sends you, then it's going to sound generic. It's not going to sound like you. Your personality isn't going to shine through, and you're not going to be able to attract those customers or those potential recruits in because they are not seeing you. They're not seeing your personality. So just make sure that no matter what you are doing, you're showing your personality, you're showing your individuality, you're showing what you do, why you love this business, what products you use, different things like that. And again, knowing what problems you're solving and who you're talking to. I always have heard that when you're doing different videos or you're doing different presentations or you're doing pictures, that you should always have a certain person in mind. Like, hey, this is exactly who I'm talking to. This is exactly who I want to reach. This is exactly what I want to do. I know who I'm talking to. This is the person that is going to get this post, and this is the person who's going to buy this product. And that you're not just trying to talk to everyone at all times and trying to reach 400,000 million people, whoever you're trying to talk to. Just think of one specific person. Hey, this is who I'm trying to talk to. This is who I'm trying to reach. This is who I want to get my message across to. Because it's going to come across a lot better, and it's going to attract in the people that you want to attract in to your business to buy a certain product. So some different ways that I share new products and stuff. I do utilize Facebook. I utilize stories more often than regular posts. I also utilize a business page. And you guys, this is just what I do. This isn't there's no right or wrong. This is just some suggestions, some ideas of how you can share new products, how you can reach out to your customers. I send MailChimp emails. I send workstation emails to all of my customers. I send text messages to my customers. I post pictures on my business Instagram, my business Facebook page, my story on my regular Instagram, different things like that. And you guys, you're always more than welcome to follow people in Scentsy who you think are super inspirational and kind of get some ideas from them. Don't copy things word for word, because again, then that's not going to show you. You're not going to be able to attract the right kind of customer, the right kind of recruit, because they're not seeing who you are. They're seeing who that person is. So make sure that when you do follow people, those kinds of things, you're not using their exact wording. You're showing yourself, you're showing your personality, you're being who you are, and you're showing your true voice. But you guys, go out there. There are so many people out there who are just absolutely killing it, you know, on Instagram or on Facebook or these kinds of things. And you can follow those people for ideas, for inspiration, get some ideas and say, oh, that was a good idea. I need to do that with myself, and I need to take a picture of myself and post that. That was a great idea. I love that. Those kinds of things. But emails, texts, posts on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube videos, even just videos that you might send out to a customer even. I've done that before. Different things that will reach different audiences. There's always going to be people who are on Instagram who aren't on Facebook. There's going to be people who are on Facebook who aren't on YouTube. There's going to be people who are on YouTube who aren't on Twitter, or I don't know, whatever else, TikTok, all of these different social media outlets that we have now. You want to take advantage at wherever you can. But that being said too, make sure that you're not overwhelming yourself and you're not like, oh my gosh, I have to post to Pinterest, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all of these things. I always suggest getting really good at one form of social media before adding another. So let's say you're starting with Facebook. Make sure that you've got Facebook mastered, and then maybe move on to Instagram or YouTube or whatever the case might be for you. But just make sure that you're not overwhelming yourself, because then your posts are just going to become lackadaisical, for lack of a better word. They're just going to become posts that you're just trying to shove out just to get content out there. How to use products to introduce the business opportunities. So there might be people who, absolutely, for instance, I have a gal on my team who absolutely just loves Disney products, everything Disney. So that turned into her wanting to join the business opportunity with Scentsy just because she loves Disney products so much that she wanted to buy every single one, but it wasn't quite affordable for her to buy every single product. So she wanted to join so that she could make commissions on all of her products and make sure that she's selling it to people, because she has a whole group of friends who also love Disney. So she already knew a ton of people who would buy these products and purchase these products for her. And then as far as what I decide to post and how, Like I mentioned, I mostly do Instagram stories on my personal page. I do also have a business Instagram page where I just specifically only post Scentsy posts, pictures from the marketing tab, things like that. My personal page is more personal, it's more me, but I definitely share things on my stories so that I'm not always sharing just Scentsy on that page. I'm sharing things about me. People want to know me. They want to know who I am. They want to know what I do during the day. They want to know different things that I like, stuff like that. So again, that's also how in turn that turns into you connecting with your customers in that same way. You want to know them. You want to know who they are, what they like to do, those kinds of things. I don't know if I really have an exact method for how I decide to post or when I decide to post. It's just kind of whatever feels natural. And I think that's what works for me. For some people that doesn't work because they want to plan things out ahead of time. And that's totally fine. You do what works for you. For me, it just works better for me to just post when I'm in the moment and it feels natural and it comes across naturally and not like I'm trying to push or sell or like it was too planned out, because people know that's not how I am and that I don't necessarily like to do things by the book and by the schedule, all of those things. So it's not natural for me to have a super planned out post or a super planned out video or anything like that. Different emails, I try to send those, at least once a month or when we have new products, things like that. My text messages, I use Amy for that and I follow up with the app whenever it tells me to. So that's how I do those. YouTube videos, the same thing. I will upload YouTube videos when I feel like I have something that I want to talk about and not just because I need to get something up and I need to get something posted. Once customers are engaging with a post or with videos or something like that you have posted, different ways that I track that, as I mentioned earlier, is I take a lot of screenshots of when people comment on something so that I can remember exactly what they said, how they said it, what they were interested in, different things like that. I make lists. I'm a pen and paper girl too. I definitely love to just keep a list. I always have a stack of Post-it notes on my desk where I've just jotted down something really quick so that I don't forget it. And again, using the app is a great way to keep in touch with your customers when they do engage with your content and they do engage with something that you have posted, different things like that. So again, just to kind of recap and go over everything that I mentioned before, the biggest things, again, like I said, is knowing who you're talking to, knowing your audience, making sure that you have them defined, you have their issues defined, you know who you're talking to, you know what their problems are, and you know how to fix that problem. You always want to be a problem solver. Making sure that you're branding yourself. You really want to make sure to brand yourself and not just brand generic items, generic things. You guys, you really want to stand out in this business. You want to show your personality in everything that you do and build, engage, sell. BES. Build, engage, and sell. Don't forget that. That's super important. Build your audience, engage with your audience, and then sell to your audience. So make sure you do those things first and that you're not just trying to sell them right off the bat, because it's just not going to work. You have to know them. Again, remember, you can't sell a steak to a vegan. So make sure you know who you're talking to, what their needs are, what they're looking for, and what might help them. And then also, when you are done, hopefully you guys have gotten some information out of this. I know I usually talk crazy fast when I'm doing these trainings, but hopefully you caught something from this that maybe you didn't know before, or maybe just a little tidbit that maybe you're thinking of something a little bit differently now. But now it's time for you to get started on your own attraction marketing and doing things your own way and really bringing in those customers for yourself. So, what one idea or concept, if put in place the day after you view this video, will have the most positive impact on your business? So think about that. Jot something down, take some notes. What one idea or concept, if put in place the day after you view this video, will have the most positive impact on your business? And then next, I want you to think about, what will you need to put this idea or concept into practice? So whatever you jotted down for that first question, what will you need to put that idea or concept into practice? And then last but not least, just make sure that you're writing down, if you have a notebook or a piece of paper or a Post-it note or whatever you have right now, just jot it down in your phone while you're watching this. But write down your plan in your notebook so that you have that plan of how you're going to start working on your own attraction marketing and how you're really going to bring in your customers and what you need to build those relationships with them. But I thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you're truly enjoying everything that SFR has to offer, and I hope to see all of you in person next year when things are back to normal. I cannot wait to meet more of you. Scentsy is just the biggest family, you guys, and I absolutely love it. Make sure if you want to get connected, you guys, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Instagram a lot more than on Facebook. I'm also on YouTube, so just make sure that you catch up with me there. Send me a message, you guys. I am all open for questions. I love when people ask questions or want advice or different things like that. So just feel free to reach out to me, to anyone that you have questions for. You know, don't ever hesitate to reach out to people in this business. But I hope that you all are enjoying the videos. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.